Welcome to a deep dive into some pretty cutting-edge AI research, We're all kind of blown away by how smart AI is getting these days,
It
but
really is amazing.
but uh have you ever stopped and wondered if it can actually, follow those really complex rules we run into every day?
Right.
The kind of stuff that makes your head spin? Well, that's exactly what this research paper RuleArena, a benchmark for rule-guided reasoning with LLMs in real-world scenarios, is trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. We're just talking about large language models here, those LLMs that, power things like chatbots and all that.
Right, right.
And this research throws them into these real-world scenarios. Think like airline baggage fees or NBA player transactions, the kind of stuff that has just tons of
Yeah,
rules.
it's like testing if AI can handle all that fine print we all just scroll past, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, how did they actually test this? Like, what was the setup?
Well, they actually built this thing called RuleArena. It's basically like an obstacle course for AI.
Okay, I like it. An obstacle course.
Yeah, and they used, get this, actual rules taken straight from American Airlines policies,
Yeah.
the NBA collective bargaining agreement, even IRS tax forms. I mean, they really went all out.
Wow. So real rules, real complexity, no messing around. What about the AI contenders? Were these the top of the line LLMs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They tested models like Llama 3.1, Quen 2.5, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and GPT-4o. They even used this technique called chain of thought prompting to kind of guide the AI's thought process.
Chain of thought prompting. What is that like? Thinking out loud for AI.
It's pretty much that, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of just spitting out an answer, the AI has to, lay out its reasoning step by step.
Okay, so show its work.
Exactly. Which is really helpful for the researchers to see, how it's getting to its answer.
I bet that was fascinating to see how the AI thinks.
Yeah.
But what about the results? Like, did the AI ace the test?
Well, that's where things get interesting. They showed some promise, for sure, but their overall accuracy in solving those real-world problems, well, it was kind of surprisingly low.
No, really? Huh.
Yeah, and what really stood out to the researchers was that the AIs were great at, identifying the relevant rules, but they really struggled to recall all the necessary rules, especially those like little specific ones that we often miss as humans too.
So they're good at finding the right section of the rule book, but then they miss the crucial footnote.
Exactly. Like imagine the AIs being great at identifying the main rules, like whether a bag is overweight, but then forgetting those little nuanced rules that apply in specific conditions.
I can see how that'd be a problem, especially in those really complicated real life scenarios. Do you have any specific examples of where the AI, tripped up?
Oh yeah, tons. Like with the airline baggage fees, there's this rule that you only pay the higher of the oversized or overweight fee, not both. But the AI it'll often miss that little detail and ended up charging passengers double.
Ouch, that's an expensive mistake. Probably not great for customer satisfaction if your AI travel agent is overcharging everyone, right?
Definitely not. And that wasn't the only time it happened.
Really?
Oh yeah, there were other situations where the AI struggled too. Like aside from missing those detailed rules, they sometimes got confused by similar looking rules, that apply in different situations.
Like identical twins with different personality.
Exactly. And the AI, well, sometimes it just couldn't tell them apart.
I can totally relate to that, especially when I'm trying to read through, legal documents and stuff. Did this happen in any of the specific scenarios they tested?
Oh, yeah, for sure. A good example was in that NBA scenario. They sometimes mixed up the rules about mid-level exceptions,
Mm.
which, apply to teams based on their salary cap situations, super complicated stuff. And the AIs, well, sometimes they just applied the wrong exception.
So even AI can get lost in the world of NBA contracts, huh? It's interesting, though. It seems like we're starting to see some patterns in how the AIs, fail. Is forgetting those detailed rules and missing up similar ones the whole story, or were there other problems?
Well, yeah, they also made, just plain old calculation errors. Even when they found and applied the correct rules, they'd sometimes, mess up the math or the logic.
So even with all this advanced tech, it sounds like there's still a work in progress.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've established that AI isn't quite ready to, take over the world of complex rule following just yet. But I'm curious, was there anything in the research that showed promise? Did they find any ways to help the AI, perform better?
Oh, absolutely. The researchers found some pretty interesting things. Like, for instance, giving the AI a worked out example for a simpler problem, actually boosted its performance.
Ah, so a little hand-holding can go a long way.
Yeah, it's like showing a student a sample problem before they tackle their, homework.
Makes sense. Were there any other tricks that seemed to help the AI?
Well, they found that removing any unnecessary information from the instructions actually helped. It seems like they can get distracted pretty easily, just like us humans. So keeping things simple and focused really made a difference.
Too many tabs open in the AI brain. I get it. But what happens when you can't, simplify the rules? There are some situations that are just inherently complex. Did the researchers address that at all?
Yeah, they did. They found that, get this, converting some rules from tables to text actually made a difference.
Wait, really? So how we present the information can actually make AI better at following rules?
It's seen so.
Yeah.
Which, shows us that there's a lot we can do to kind of teach AI and help it learn more effectively. It's not just about the AI's capabilities, but also about how we present the information. But we're really just scratching the surface here. There's a lot more to unpack in terms of potential solutions.
This is already super fascinating. We've seen where AI stumbles when it comes to complex rules, but also some glimmers of hope for the future. So what's next? What are some of the potential solutions to these challenges? Don't go anywhere, listeners. We'll be right back to explore that and more.
Welcome back. We just saw how AI, struggles with those real-world rule books. But the researchers didn't just stop at identifying the problems. They actually hinted at some pretty interesting solutions.
Okay, I'm all ears. We've got these super advanced LLMs,
Okay.
but they can't quite handle the nuance of human rules. What's the fix?
Well, one idea is to kind of combine the strengths of LLMs with, more structured reasoning systems.
Yeah.
It's like creating a hybrid AI,
Mhm.
like a tag team that can handle all the complexity.
Okay, break that down for me. What does this hybrid AI actually look like?
So imagine this. LLMs are amazing at things like, understanding language, finding patterns, but they sometimes struggle with that step-by-step logic that those complex rules require. They're like the creative thinkers, coming up with brilliant ideas, but maybe not always dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So we pair them with something that's good at the detail work, the meticulous stuff.
Exactly. Structured reasoning systems, which are often based on, symbolic logic, are like those meticulous rule followers. They're really good at applying logic in a very precise way, making sure everything is, consistent and compliant.
So it's like having a brilliant strategist paired with a detail-oriented project manager. The strategist comes up with the big picture plan, and the project manager makes sure all the steps are followed correctly.
That's a great way to put it. The LLM could be responsible for understanding the rules, identifying the key information, and kind of proposing solutions. And then the structured reasoning system takes over, applying the rules meticulously, double checking everything, making sure the final output is logically sound and follows all the rules.
This hybrid approach sounds incredibly powerful. Where could we actually use something like this?
Oh, the possibilities are huge. Imagine applying it to legal contracts.
Mhm.
The LLM could analyze the language and identify the key clauses, while the structured reasoning system could ensure all the legal requirements are met.
Okay, yeah. I can see how that would be a game changer for lawyers, saving them tons of time and, reducing the risk of errors. What about other fields? Could we see this hybrid AI in finance?
Absolutely. In finance, this hybrid AI could, analyze market data, assess risk for investments, and even detect fraudulent activity. It could potentially make financial systems more efficient and secure.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. Any field that relies on complex rules and regulations could benefit from this kind of hybrid AI.
Exactly. And it's not just about, efficiency. This kind of system could also help us make those rules themselves better.
That's interesting. How so?
Well, think about it. As the AI analyzes and applies rules, it can identify, inconsistencies, ambiguities, and potential loopholes. That feedback can then be used to refine and improve the rules themselves,
Yeah.
making them, clearer, fairer, and more effective.
That's a brilliant point. So we're not just talking about AI, following the rules, but potentially helping us create better rules. But is this all just theoretical? Is anyone actually working on this kind of hybrid AI?
It's more than just theory. Researchers are actively developing techniques to combine, LLMs with various reasoning engines. They're figuring out how to represent rules in a way that LLMs can understand. And they're experimenting with different ways to integrate symbolic logic with the power of, deep learning.
So we're not just dreaming about this future, it's actually being built as we speak. This whole concept of hybrid AI is incredibly exciting. But before we get carried away, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, those factors that seem to influence how well the AIs, performed in the first place. I'm really intrigued by that idea that simply giving the AI a worked out example can actually boost its performance.
Right, right. That's a really important point. It shows that AI can, learn by example, just like humans do. By providing the AI with a demonstration of how to solve a similar problem, we can help it extract patterns and strategies that it can then apply to, new situations.
It's like giving them a set of training wheels to get them started. But are there any like downsides to this approach? Could it make the AI too reliant on examples?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. We don't want the AI to just, memorize solutions to specific problems. We want it to develop a deeper understanding of the rules so it can apply them flexibly and creatively. It's a delicate balance, and finding the right approach is an active area of research.
So it's about providing the AI with the right kind of scaffolding, enough support to help it learn, but not so much that it becomes, dependent on it. What about the other factors we discussed? That idea that irrelevant information can actually hurt the AI's performance.
Right, yeah. That's another crucial insight from the research. It highlights the importance of, clear, concise instructions, especially when dealing with complex rule-based systems. Just like humans can get overwhelmed by, too much information, AI can also get bogged down in the details and lose sight of the main goal.
So it's about cutting through the noise and presenting the AI with the information it actually needs to solve the problem. I'm starting to think this research has implications not just for AI development, but for how we communicate and present information in general.
Absolutely. The findings about rule representation are particularly intriguing. Remember how converting some rules from tables to text actually helped the AI perform better?
Yes, that really stood out to me. I'm still like wrapping my head around why that would be the case.
Well, it seems that while tables are often, clear and concise for humans, they can be challenging for AI to parse. AIs might struggle to extract the relevant information from those rows and columns, and they might miss the connections between different pieces of information.
It's like trying to read a map that's all folded up. The information is there, but it's hard to see the big picture.
That's a great analogy. By converting those tabular rules into a more linear text-based format, the researchers made it easier for the AI to follow the flow of information and understand the relationships between different elements. It's a reminder that how we present information can have a huge impact on how well AI can understand and use it.
This is all so fascinating. We've covered so much ground from the challenges of AI, rule following, to the potential solutions, and even the subtle nuances of how AI learns. We've seen how AI can struggle with complex rules, but we've also glimpsed its potential to transform industries, improve lives, and even help us, build a better society.
And we've just scratched the surface. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore the broader implications of this research and consider the ethical and societal questions that arise as we increasingly entrust AI with the task of interpreting and applying the rules that govern our lives. Stay tuned, listeners.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into AI rule following. We've talked about the challenges, we've explored some potential solutions, we've even gotten a glimpse into, how AI actually learns. Now I want to talk about the bigger picture. What does all this mean for, like, the future?
Well, it's a question that really, sparks the imagination. Imagine a world where AI can just seamlessly navigate those intricate rules that govern, our society. Think about fields like law. AI could analyze contracts, identify potential issues, even help, draft documents. This could really free up human lawyers to focus on more strategic and creative work.
So instead of spending hours poring over, legal jargon, lawyers could have these AI partners, like helping them with the heavy lifting. That sounds like a pretty big shift.
It would be transformative, yeah.
Yeah.
And the applications go way beyond just, law. Think about finance. AI could help analyze market trends, assess the risks of investments, even detect fraudulent activity with a level of, speed and accuracy we've never seen before.
Yeah, that would certainly revolutionize the financial industry. What are some of the other ways this technology could, like, be used in finance?
Well, we could potentially see more personalized financial advice, more efficient markets, and maybe even, a reduction in financial crime. It's all about using AI to make these complex systems work better.
It seems like any field that deals with, intricate rules and regulations could benefit from this kind of AI. What about healthcare? Can this play a role there?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine an AI that could analyze a patient's, medical history, cross-reference it with the latest medical research and treatment guidelines, and potentially, identify diagnoses or flag potential drug interactions.
Yeah, I can see how that would be incredibly valuable for doctors. It would be like having a superpowered assistant to help them make the best possible decisions for their patients.
Exactly. It could lead to faster, more accurate diagnoses, more personalized treatment plans, and ultimately, better outcomes for patients.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that with any, powerful technology, there are potential downsides we need to consider.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of what's possible, but it's important to be, realistic. What are some of the potential challenges we need to be thinking about?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is making sure that, these AI systems are developed and used responsibly.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about the data we use to train these systems to avoid, perpetuating existing biases.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure there are safeguards in place to prevent, unintended consequences.
So it's not just about, teaching AI the rules, it's also about making sure those rules are fair and ethical in the first place.
Exactly. We also need to think about the role of, human oversight. AI can be an incredible tool, but ultimately, we need to make sure humans are still in control, guiding its development and ensuring it's, used for good.
That makes sense. It's about finding the right balance, harnessing the power of AI while still maintaining, human control and judgment. This has been such a fascinating exploration of a topic that's really, at the forefront of technological advancement. It's clear that AI has the potential to, change the world in so many ways, but it's also clear that we need to proceed thoughtfully and responsibly.
I completely agree. The research we've explored today really gives us a glimpse into a future that's, full of both immense possibilities and complex challenges. It's a future where AI could, transform industries, improve lives, and help us build a better society. But it's also a future that demands our careful attention, our ethical awareness, and our, unwavering commitment to shaping AI in a way that reflects our shared values.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We started by wondering if AI could follow rules, and we ended up exploring a future where AI could not only follow rules, but help us understand them, refine them, even improve them. It's a conversation that's just beginning, and it's one we all need to be a part of. Thanks for joining us, listeners. We hope you'll continue to explore this fascinating topic and join us in shaping a future where AI and humans can, thrive together.